Hello everyone, and welcome to my Red Dead Redemption Achievement Guide. In this series, I'll be going over how to get every single achievement in the Red Dead Redemption single player. Before we start, there are a few things I would like to go over. First, I want to preface that I will not be going over any online multiplayer or co-op achievements for this guide. Although this is a guide, I won't be going over every single mechanic in the game in detail, so if this is your first time through the game, feel like you need more info, or just need to refresh your memory, feel free to do a playthrough all on your own before watching this guide. Next, I want to talk about some of the achievements. I will say there are minor spoilers in this section, but then why are you watching this video if you're worried about spoilers? There are a total of 95 achievements, 51 of which can be obtained in one playthrough of the main single player, and one playthrough of the Undead Nightmare DLC single player. More on DLCs later. The first few achievements I want to talk about aren't tied to any particular activity in the game, but are more cumulative. There are 3 achievements tied to getting kills with specific weapons. You'll need 500 kills with mounted weapons, pistols and revolvers, and rifles, repeaters, and shotguns, each. Of those 1500 kills, you'll need 250 of them to be headshots, so be sure to use a variety of weapons and aim for the head. Then there's the More Than a Fistful and Man of Honor Chivalry's Dead achievements for earning $10,000 and having either the lowest or highest honor rank plus highest fame rank. Both of these achievements are easy but will likely take a whole game without a few tricks. For the money, I'll be showing a good spot to make loads of cash really quickly early on. As for the honor and fame rank, it's easy to tank your honor early on, but there's no way to raise your fame. On top of that, getting your honor too low will make it harder to get another achievement that we'll talk about in a minute. For that reason, I'll be going for high honor in this playthrough. Other things you need to watch out for are all the unique animals in the game. You'll need to kill one of each animal for the Unnatural Selection achievement. I'll point out when and where you can kill each species of animal, but don't expect to find them in the exact same spots that I do. You can check how many of each animal you've killed by opening the pause menu, clicking on your stats, and scrolling down to miscellaneous. If an animal doesn't appear in the list, you have 0 kills on that animal. And if you have an animal listed that you're pretty sure you haven't killed, it's likely that you ran it over with your horse while riding around in free roam. Although they aren't directly related to a particular achievement, you will need to keep track of and unlock 9 outfits throughout the game. 5 of these 9 outfits have 6 objectives or scraps that you need to complete before unlocking them, while the other 4 are simply unlocked with 1 scrap each, simply in air quotes. Unlike challenges, which we'll talk about later, outfit objectives can be completed in any order you want. For example, these are the objectives for the Baller Twins gang outfit. In this case, I completed scrap 3 by winning a game of horseshoes at McFarland's Ranch before finding scrap 1 in Thieves Landing. The last achievement in the main game that I want to talk about is the infamous Spurred to Victory achievement, which is the only missable achievement in the game. This achievement requires you to complete 20 missions without switching to a new horse at a hitching post. Although it may seem easy, it's actually one of the most annoying achievements in the game. Throughout the game, there are missions that almost force you or trick you into switching horses, so without knowing what to watch out for, most people would likely not unlock this and have to start a whole new playthrough of the game. The tips I would give you would be, do not hitch any horse, including your own, to a hitching post. The game will force you to do this a couple of times at the beginning, no worries, this will not reset the counter. Always whistle for your horse when allowed. Do not take a horse from a hitching post, not even your own, unless the game forces you to do so. If you see your horse is hitched, just whistle and it will come to you. If you allow your honor to drop to Desperado, when you whistle, a dark horse will respawn. If you save the game with that horse, your counter will reset as well. Do not use any horse deeds at any point. These can be bought from a store and used from your satchel. Even if you don't buy them, you might have some already in your inventory from completing certain quests or even as special edition bonuses. If your horse dies, reload your most recent game save from the pause menu immediately. Save often. You can save the game by sleeping in any player house. Next, let's talk about the DLC achievements. For DLCs, you'll need the Undead Nightmare DLC, as well as the Liars and Cheats DLC and the Legends and Killers DLC. Although the latter 2 are primarily multiplayer DLCs, they do add 1 single-player achievement each. These achievements are tied to challenges that you can complete throughout the game. Now, you'll need to complete the main 4 challenge sets for the base game anyway, so another 2 isn't going to be that much harder. The only thing I want to say about them is that any challenge you make progress in does not have its progress saved unless you save the game. So be sure to use your campfire to save when you get challenge progress. You can check your challenge progress anytime by opening the pause menu and opening your journal. As for the Undead Nightmare DLCs, there's only 3 achievements that might give you trouble as they are heavily tied to RNG, those being Mad Marston the Trail Warrior, Fan Service, and Chupa Thingy. Part of Mad Marston requires you to find and break the 4 horses of the apocalypse, which spawn completely randomly in certain areas of the map. Chupa Thingy is the exact same thing, but instead of breaking horses, you have to find and kill a Chupacabra. As for fan service, you have to find and break a unicorn, which doesn't even spawn until you have completed all the other Undead Nightmare challenges, which include finding the 4 horses and killing the Chupacabra. So good luck finding those. That's about all I wanted to cover, so without further ado, let's get into the guide. Alright, as soon as you spawn in, you'll gain control of John Marston. It'll tell you to go to the saloon, so just walk over to the saloon. You'll get a cutscene, and you'll meet Jake. Now, this is the only time Jake appears in the story, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about getting invested in his character or anything. He'll tell you to get on your horse, and here you will have to pull your horse from the hitching post. You cannot whistle for it yet. So, don't worry about that. It shouldn't count for the Spurt to Victory achievement. But then you're going to have to follow Jake here for a little while, and he'll just give you some exposition, just kind of give you some context of the story. It's going to be a while, so just follow him around to Fort Mercer. And once you get to Fort Mercer, you'll get another cutscene, and after the cutscene, it'll tell you to approach the fort. Now, before you approach the fort, all the way to the X, what you want to do is make sure you got your handgun out, your revolver. And there's going to be 4 crows sitting here. Now, you want to shoot and scare them so they start flying, and you want to watch for whichever ones go fly away from you. So you want to shoot those, so get that one first, and these ones should fly over you, or the remaining ones should fly over you, so you'll have some more time to get them. And you want to try and shoot all 4 of them out of the sky. So that'll get you your first animal kill, and that'll be your crow. And it'll get you 4 out of the 5 objectives for the first sharpshooter challenge. Now you'll get a cutscene after you approach the fort, and it'll end with this part here where John gets rescued, and that'll get you your first achievement, the Government Boy, or just completing the prologue mission. Once you get rescued, you'll wake up in this cabin here, and it'll automatically start the next mission, so go ahead and walk over to Bonnie. Now, even though we're injured, we still got all our abilities. We can jump and mantle over things and climb and sprint and all that, so don't worry about that. So go ahead and walk over to Bonnie, and you should start the quest. She'll want to show you around the ranch. Now, here we are in McFarlane's ranch. Now, this is another part where you have to take your horse from the hitching post. You cannot whistle for it, so don't worry about that. It shouldn't count towards the Spurt to Victory achievement.
There's the foreman's office. It's also where we lock up good-for-nothing outlaws, such as yourself.
I'm happy enough with my current quarters right now, Miss McFarlane.
So just wait for Bonnie to get to her horse, and she should start the tour of the ranch.
Come on.
Now, as you're going around the ranch, you'll see that I'm kind of looking around, mainly looking up into the sky, because I'm looking for one more bird. Any bird will do, but you want to find a bird that's flying up in the sky and try and shoot it out of the air with your revolver. Now, I usually find them somewhere between the corral and the train station, or behind the train station, or over here by the barn is where I usually find them. And you'll see here's where I see one in the distance. So I immediately abandoned Bonnie and went to try and hit it. My auto targeting wasn't locking on, so I tried to hit it through the tree, but I missed, but it's fine. Now, don't go too far or you'll fail the mission. But once you shoot one more bird out of the air, if you got all 4 in the prologue mission, then that should be Sharpshooter Challenge number 1 completed.
I don't have time to be waiting
Now, I believe I killed a vulture there, but I'm not going to count that because you might not get a vulture, you might get a vulture, you might get a hawk, you might get a songbird. But I'm not going to count it yet. Now, here's just the same mission, just later on. You will have to pull your horse from the hitching post again. And you're going to kind of patrol the ranch with Bonnie here. Now, once you pull up right here, it's going to tell you to get off your horse. Make sure you do not hitch it at the post here. And just dismount. And you want to use your new rifle to kill 5 rabbits. Make sure you kill 5. Now, this is going to be a new animal, so that's going to be your second animal of the 26 unique ones in the game. And killing 5 of them will get you the second sharpshooter challenge completed.
Let's mount up and patrol the rest of the property.
Then Bonnie will tell you to get back on your horse and patrol the rest of the property. So just do that and follow her.
Still got plenty of ground to cover.
So I'm just going to go ahead and speed this part up here.
Damn coyotes are fast. We can't afford to lose any
Now
more
here you'll get
livestock.
some coyotes spawned. So that's going to be your third animal. And you want to kill at least 5 of them.
Break for the chicken coop.
So just chase them around. They're going to be in the chicken coop. It doesn't matter if they get any of the chickens as long as they don't get too many of them. I believe they get too many, then you will fail the mission. So killing 5 of those will get you sharpshooter challenge number 3 completed. So that's
Shame we had
3 sharpshooter challenges done
Come on, I'll show you
in the
way
first
you
2 missions of the game, which is pretty good. And then you just want to follow Bonnie all the way to the camp. Here you will have to hitch your horse, so go ahead and do that. And that should be the end of the episode. Just sleep in your bed to save the game. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you tune in the next one. See ya.